Coming up on Hold All Tickets, we have 3 Group 1s this Saturday. We don't know what the conditions are going to be like at Rosehill, but Adam, it is a great weekend of racing.
After last weekend, I didn't think we could get enough, but we're back.
Bring it on. I can't wait. 3 Group 1s plus a lot more coming your way right now on Hold All Tickets. Hello and welcome to Hold All Tickets for a massive day of Group 1 racing at Flemington and at Rosehill, where they may need the flippers this weekend. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly, not joined by James Lamb and nor Xavier Peagam. I'm joined by the Overlord, Adam Brett. G'day, Adam.
G'day. You got a bit desperate again.
Yeah, we did. Well, Xavier's left us. He's gone. He's just left us in the wind. He's like, I'm out. Peace. Tipped a few winners and... Well, Lammy needed a day off after a while. He tipped a couple of winners and he just had to get through 11 races at the Valley last week. That was a long day.
Never have I felt more pressure walking into this room after you boys actually had a good week last week.
Yeah, we found the Golden Slipper winner in a part of it as well. It was a good day for the battlers.
We know you found the Golden Slipper winner. You haven't bloody shut up about it all week.
Haven't tipped a winner in about 6 months. I needed this.
So you thought $13 shot would be the best
yeah,
one to
just throw out the stumps. I saw Essendon get smashed and then lobbed at the pub 5 minutes before the Slipper. It was a pretty good Saturday.
Bloody hell.
Anyway, we are brought to you here by BoomBet on Hold All Tickets. Great fixed odds, more value and more boom moments. Sign up today and get in on the boom. Need to get the social media plugs out of the way, of course. Please follow us on YouTube. It is at Punters. Hit that subscribe button as well as the notifications. So anytime we do a video, it comes up in your feed. A lot going on this weekend. We've just recorded the Punters preview with Caitlin Mallion, so she's tipping up a storm at the moment. We've done a World Pool preview for all those races across the weekend. We interviewed Sam Friedman. So if you want to see the chances that the Friedmans have this weekend, go check out the World Pool preview. It'll be out Friday morning. Of course, Facebook, Instagram, and X for everything we've got there. It's just at Punters. It's pretty simple. A lot of good stuff going on there, right, boss?
Yeah, there is a bit. I was a little bit annoyed last time I was on this show, though. Some of the comments in YouTube from our punters, far out.
Yeah.
Brutal.
We encourage the comments, though. Get in. We do love social interaction as well and the podcast platforms as well. Wherever you get a good podcast, just look for Punters and give us a 5-star rating and leave a review.
I know, but I know I have a good head for radio, but it doesn't need to be called out by several of our
Because you look
listeners.
angry. Yeah.
Like that was your rules today. Come in, liven up a bit, just chill out.
Hawthorn a 3-0.
I'm up and about.
See? There you go.
But you did smack me in Supercoach, so I got a bit frustrated over the weekend.
It's just because I'm better than you.
Where did you pull 1,350 from?
I captained Jordan Dawson against the Bombers.
I thought I was home and hose too.
Too good. All right, we do need to get into the Self-Trumpeters of the week this week. Lammy's left it up to me, but did send through a few nominations, so we'll be able to have a bit of a chuckle at this, Adam, because there's a few good ones. So firstly, a bit of post-rate expertise here from Lock32 on Twitter. So after Schwartz won the Group 1 William Reid last week, Golden Paddy's tweeted out, Australian sprinting ranks are completely cast when Schwartz is a Group 1 weight for age winner. He'd be a G3 winner at best in any other era. So that's a fair, just off the long run from Paddy there. We don't begrudge anyone of winning, but, that's his opinion and fair enough. Locks followed it up with this, and this is where it gets. Most with half a brain could see a standout opportunity on that track for Schwartz. Newsflash, the best horses don't always win.
Yep. Doesn't mind pumping himself up a bit, does he?
Thanks, Locke. Nothing pre-race, of course, but yes, it was a great opportunity for a $9 winner, of course. So that's 1 vote for Locke. 2 votes for MG, who is Sports Chatter on Twitter. No complaints this weekend. Golden Slipper winner Mahuna at $26. HK Derby, $31 cap for art. That's just classic trumpet. That's 2 votes for 2 little trumpets there. I probably should give extras because I did end up backing My Wish in the Hong Kong Derby and missed by a pimple. Mark Newnham will never get over that, and I think he hates Craig Williams because Willow knocked him off in 2 photo finishes by an inch on Sunday. It wasn't Mark Newnham fan club right here. Not a good day.
What a race, though. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, Hong Kong Derby. Yeah, follow My Wish. I think he's going to the Champions Mile against Voyage Bubble next. So now we get some repeat offending here for 4 votes. So
Jeez, please tell me it's not me.
No, it's not you.
Thank God.
No, you're off the hook this week. So it's our friend Kristen Manning, who is at Racing Pedigrees and is in created a big Facebook group called Racehorses Australia as well. So very good on the socials is Kristen. Posted, friend spotted one of my old tweets, and it's a screen grab with Kristen saying, did anyone see Very Elegant win in New Zealand today on the 12th of August, 2018 at 7:58 p.m. Now, first of all, if you spotted Very Elegant, that's all well done. So this is a 2-part trump. The first part is if you see in the screen grab, which I'm going to send to Gerald, it'll pop up on our screens now. This looks like it's been done on Facebook Messenger and not Twitter. So spotted my old tweets. It looks like a Facebook post or comment there. Anyway, the next one is, so Racing KJT's followed up with the hand clap emoji, like, well done for finding it. And she said, I had her black booked before her debut. My love affair with Kotahile House. It's a nice little trumpet there that I knew Millhouse. I knew the dog before it came to school. So 2 votes for the trumpets, double votes for repeat offending. So that's 4 votes, and that'll put her somewhere in the leadership there. But we do have a big one to finish off on. The leader, and now tearaway leader. We won't say how many votes he's got. Miles Fitzner. So last Thursday on SEN track, so they commentate through the race as it's going on, and they've backed a horse in a Class 1 at Albury last Thursday. Thank you for that. That's a fine. That's a schooner. So he told Cam Lucas, his co-host, to play the music, which is like they've tipped the winner music, and it was All I Do Is Win, Win, Win. Anyway, they tipped Rosehill, who was odds on in this Class 1, trained by Matty Dale, thinking it was home at the 600-metre mark. One problem, got run over. Spicy Lou from Nick Olive ran over the top of it. Miles, you've been in this game for a long time. Everyone knows, even when you're with your mates at the pub, never, ever, ever say that a horse is home at the 600-metre mark. If you're 5 in front at the 50, yes, you can say you're home. So first of all, you get 6 votes for the SP of Spicy Lou, who was $6, and you get 2 votes for being a repeat offending trumpeter and also for not being able to read a race. That is just horrendous gear. That is 8 votes for Miles Fitzner.
The early crow. Never do it.
And it was short, so people who had backed it, they're just on the floor if they're listening to it, thinking, oh, sweet, I'm home, and it gets nailed on the line.
Yep.
Also, follow the winner. It's a nice horse. There's a 2-year-old taking on the older horses. So anyway, that leaves us with right now Andrew Hawkins on 13 votes, Xavier Peagam on 14, and Miles Fitzner, double the Hawk, on 28 votes. He looks like he's home and hosed this season on the Self-Trumpeter of the Week.
Knowing what Xavier's going into for the next few weeks now, he's finished up with us though, could be coming home with a wet sail.
But he might keep it off social media though. That's the thing.
He's too bold.
Yeah. Andrew Hawkins with Champions Day, Dubai, and a few other things. We are on business class, first class lounge watch.
And we'll be there.
Yes, we are going to Hong Kong for Champions Day. We are in economy, as I found out this morning. Thank you. Anyway, I do need to tell you that Thoroughbred Sales is the #1 online horse platform for owners looking to buy a racehorse. With over 130 trainers and syndicators to choose from, horses will also be eligible to run in their new $4 million race series with over 400 races having a bonus. Check out Thoroughbred Sales today. Now, I believe a trainer that you have horses with, Jack Bruce, will have a couple of these ones because a lot of these races will be up in Queensland. So hit up our good friend Jack Bruce.
Hit up Jack Bruce. Good hats. I've got a few hats that he gave us at Magic Millions just coming down. So just quietly, if you can get a hat just for owning a horse, I'd take it. Jack
Bruce from the school of Bjorn and Kieran Maher as well. So he knows what he's doing. Now, Adam, we do need to give the boys their credit.
I hate doing it, but we should.
I know, because you love coming in on a Monday or a Tuesday whenever you roll into the office and give us a bit of a clip, which is fair. We need to be held accountable here, and it's what we do on Hold or Tickets. So let's recap the tipping performances of Lammy and Peegs. First of all, Lammy did tip Burr Dubai as his best bet to kick off the day at the Valley. Got the job done at $3. Doesn't matter how it got there, but it got there. Two Darn Lizzie, a little bit disappointing. Think they went a little bit too slow there.
Yeah.
And Moby Dick was his best value, and the way the track was playing, and he did preface this on the Thursdays, like, the track is fair, Moby Dick will half in price. Track wasn't playing fair by the time we got to Moby, so unfortunately didn't get the job done.
Just on Two Darn Lizzie.
Yep.
That's probably the 3rd or 4th time we've backed it on this show.
Yeah.
I think it's got up once. Are we keeping it?
Nah, it's in the bin for me.
It's in the bin. I agree. I've got this coming up in Nars later. Horse that maybe just be a little overhyped for what it actually is.
Actually, never thought she was much good, to be honest.
Yeah, but there's been plenty in other competitors that like to pump it up and may be an owner in it. So,
okay. We'll get to Peegs. He just said, well, Autumn Glow, it'll win. And it did.
No kidding.
Could be the best 3-year-old in the country. Better than Lady Shenandoah. Better than Treasure of the Moment. That's what a few people are saying. I might be one of them as well. So we'll see. I look forward to them all clashing at some stage. You hope all 3 of them run against each other in like an Epsom. It'd be great. They probably won't, but anyway. His next best was Hinged. Now, technically speaking, if you're following the colours, you got this correct because the Hinge colours won. It was just that Mare of Mount Buller won. So Yeah, a bit of a miss there from Peegs Hinged. I think she's been retired. So Peegs has had another one retired. And he finished off with a Valiant King. None of them got near that thing of gaze that absolutely bolted in.
That was an amazing run too.
Yeah, I did my money.
Yep, we all did.
Yeah, it wasn't a good day there, but their best bets have lobbed, so we always got to give credit there when best bets win. It's always a good day there. So more importantly, because we've got to look ahead to this weekend. So BoomBet, of course, have sent through this week their Boom Odds offer. It's a big one, and it rolls into sort of everything that's going on this weekend. BoomBet have a Boom Odds offer on Pride of Jenny to win the Australian Cup at $5.
Is Pride of Jenny running this weekend?
Didn't know about it, right?
I haven't heard a thing.
First thing I've heard about it.
Out. Okay.
So she is to win. Of course, there is a maximum stake that you can have depending on your account there. So, of course, terms and conditions apply. Check out BoomBet today. Great fixed odds and more value. Get in on the boom. $5. I don't mind it. But the email from Chris, and I reckon you'll find this a little bit interesting. In the Australian Cup, all the money has been for Zardozi, but they've drifted slightly out from the $7.60. We expect more of a drift with Middle Earth, the one they expect to see market support from. In race 7, Marzu is the only one the punters have touched so far with almost all the money on the one runner, given the rain expected. Makes total sense. Rosehill race 8, which is the Tancred. They expect Vauban to drift out past $4.50. Dubai Honour is the only one with money so far. Looks fairly priced, but there appears to be some value with Warmonger and La Creek. And in race number 9, which is the Doncaster Prelude, early bets on Just Folk and Ducasse, but they're keeping Willidoo safe. Not much attention on it yet because they are keeping it safe, and that is from a Chris at BoomBet. That is the problem with Sydney this week. It is about to rain cats and dogs there, and they could get up to 70 mils. So that's going to be hard for us. But of course, thank you to BoomBet for that. Great fixed odds, more value, and more boom moments. Sign up today and get in on the boom. Adam, we have a Group 1 this weekend in Melbourne. We're going to start there. The Australian Cup is a very interesting race because Pride of Jenny returns after a swashbuckling win first up.
Mm-hmm.
Deny knowledge.
The shortest retirement in history.
Yes, technically never retired. She was just said to have been retired. She wasn't retired in Racing Australia, therefore she's still fine. You've also got Deny Knowledge there, who was good first up. Ferocho's won the Australian Guineas last start. A Tissue looks to be set for a grand final, as does Zardozi. Middle Earth was a winner over the track and distance first up in Australia. This race is
stacked.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's stacked. I'm very much questionable on a few things in here that I'm looking at. And as we were talking about yesterday, Pride of Jenny could run out to that big lead and could run over the top of him. I can't see it happening myself.
Yep.
But I'm still backing in a Tissue, but it's not with confidence.
Not with confidence. So you see there, Light Infantryman was third in the All-Star Mile. Attrition, second last start in the Blamey, beating Zardozi home. Young Verta goes well here.
Yep.
Pride of Jenny. So what's not taken into consideration with her there is she was first up off a bleed. So she had to be rock hard fit first up from a bleed, because there's always a chance when you bleed that it happens again. It's highly likely it's potentially going to happen again as well. It's just how it happens. So there might not be a lot of improvement to come for her, but if she can get rolling and Deny Knowledge doesn't really take it up to her, she could be off and gone again. But as we've seen at Flemington, it is a very, very long straight there at Flemington.
That's right. And most of them will take off too early and probably get caught out in the last 100 to 150. So I'm interested to see how it all goes. The one that I wouldn't sleep on is Deny Knowledge as well.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be one that we got to keep a bit of an eye on, but wide open.
Yeah.
Which, no, it's good for it.
I think it's good that you've got Deny Knowledge there to help drag up the field. We've seen so many times where Pride of Jenny's just got off and gone, and they've all just let it unfold in front of her, thinking she's going to stop, and she doesn't. So having Deny Knowledge there will help give Zardozi, a Tissue, who was at also up the top, Middle Earth, a drag into the race as well. And that's where I've landed. I've landed with Middle Earth. I'm looking at the new blood into this race. He's the one that Kieran Marsh thrown in this race, because also you've got to consider he does train Pride of Jenny as well. Could have run this horse in the Randvet last weekend in Sydney. Yes, against Via Sistina as well. But you have a look at this horse's form over in the UK. Winner over 2,800, winner over 2,400. Then he was third in a Hardwick Stakes. And then he got absolutely smashed in the King George. It wasn't right for the King George anyway. But he has supreme staying abilities within him. So I'm pretty keen on him that he's going to be the strongest horse late. If they get out and going and it's just a brutal test, it's him and Zardozi that are fighting out the finish.
Yeah, no, I'm inclined to agree with that. I got a question for you, though, on this one. Because it's something that, racing better than most. If you're a jockey, How far is too far that you let Pride of Jenny go? Because we've watched races where she's been 300 metres near the head, and you sit there and look at it. If you're a jockey and you're watching her just creep out to a nice lead, at what point do you just go, enough is enough, I have to go now?
Yeah, see, the thing about that is it comes down to physics as well, because by the amount of time that you've got left in the race, are you actually going to go quick enough where, depending on how slow she goes, are you going to be able to catch her? It's maths, and we're asking jockeys to try and figure out maths in their head at a 1,000-metre mark when they're going 60 Ks an hour. So it's hard to do. And then also, some horses don't have that actual stamina to sustain an 800-metre run. So someone like Middle Earth and Zardozi, they're going to be able to sustain a brutal runs. We've seen in Melbourne Cups that they can sustain distances in Middle Earth with his UK form. Whereas others, you see when Craig Williams rode Mr. Brightside in that Queen Elizabeth last year, he was like, I'm riding to get my horse to the best possible position. I don't care what Pride of Jenny does. And sometimes you might need to do that. But in a race like this, it's worth $2.5 million. You know what her one wood is. You saw what they did in the Cox Plate when they were close to her. It's the pack mentality. If they all go fast, it creates a fast race, and the best horse usually wins it. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing, is with Denying Knowledge there, it will create a pack mentality where they'll go quick. If we get good conditions here, we could break a track record.
Yeah, because I've been looking at this, and, for a mug punter like myself, I'm looking at the sectionals and I go, look at that 200, 400 out. But you actually have to take the 800.
You've got to go from the 1,000, because if
how fast?
Yeah, if she's on her own from the 1,400 metres, Froggy will just slowly, and then you'll just get rolling at the 1,000. He tries to win the race between the 1,000 and the 4. Yeah. And then you just hope you're far enough in front. Like, she's going to keep going, but her last 200 will definitely be her slowest 200.
Yeah, and that's where the likes of a Tissue and Zardozi could stand up.
Exactly, and that's there. So I'm with Middle Earth on top, and you're with a Tissue.
Yep.
Let's get to Sydney. Who knows what track we're going to get this weekend. The rail's out 6 metres. Up to 60 mils expected over the next couple of days, so we could be just on a completely bottomless track. If it doesn't hit, we'll probably be on a soft track. So who knows what we're going to get. The first Group 1 is the Vinery Stud Stakes over 2,000 metres, where Treasure the Moment has come up nice and short, which is no shock given how dominant she's been this time in and the back end of last preparation. She's had 9 starts for 7 wins. Currently $1.56 with our friends at Boombet. If it's dry and she handles the track, she should win. But you go through this race and you're like, there's a couple of fillies here that have got a bit about them. Like, I don't mind Verona Rose down the bottom. She got through the soft going really well at Kembla last start. And if it's a tough slog, she's by Castelvecchio, who was a winner over 2,000 metres a couple of times. And out of a McVie mare, she'll swim. She will absolutely swim. Karen McAvoy riding well at the moment, and 2,000 metres suits her down to the ground. And then Katie Mallion on the Punters preview tip Benegill, who's by Manhattan Rain out of a War mare, and War was by More Than Ready, which basically means this horse quacks for a living.
Geez, after the last couple of weeks, brave person that goes against Katie's tips.
She's going well.
Pretty well. Yeah, and, this is the big unknown, right? How much rain's going to be coming and what's going to come up. I don't see much beating Treasure the Moment.
Yep.
I do have one that I'm keeping a bit of an eye on coming out of New Zealand. Had one run here, which is real class. I think that is an each way that we could take on it. It doesn't have much wet form though, so it's a bit of an unknown. But yeah, Treasure the Moment for me.
Yeah, well, Real Class was by Vadamos, who was a Monsun horse. And then you've Vadamos, who was a Monsun as well. But Moving Out interests me as well, by Stefanos out of a Stravinsky mare. She's had 3 starts on soft going for a win and a couple of placings. And as we know, soft in New Zealand is usually heavy. So she can handle it as well. And she was all right first up and gets J-Mac.
And has a guy named Chris Waller training it. And I think I've heard him before, James McDonald jumping on board.
Kid's got a future.
He's got a good future. Yeah,
but yeah, it's either, it looks as if it's either Treasure the Moment here. We haven't even mentioned Delici Boulevard, who crushed the line last start as well. It's interesting that J-Mac jumps on Moving Out and jumps off Delici Boulevard as well. So that's a little pointer, but she's got a heavy track win to her name, Delici Boulevard. So if you don't like the favourite, good luck, because you're going to be handsomely rewarded if you find the winner.
Yep.
Speaking of handsomely rewarded, the Tancred Stakes. If you find the winner of this one, punters, you're going to get a nice little price there, unless it's Due by Honour, because he's currently your favourite at $3.05. If we do get a wet track here, it throws up countless possibilities here. For mine, the only thing that I want to take out of it is I don't want to be with Vauban if it's completely bottomless. But he looked to have a lot of improvement to come from him there. You've got Due by Honour. I saw him at Hong Kong. I thought he was fantastic in the Hong Kong Vase, just getting up the fence there late. He travelled all around the world last year. He won a Group 1 in France, then he was in Germany, then he went back to a synthetic race at Newcastle before coming out to Chartin. He's gone back to the UK and now come out. He's a massive yard watch because if he hasn't travelled well, he probably can't win the race. Arapahoe's a winner of this race. Duke de Sessa, a Caulfield Cup winner on a wet track. Zaire started favourite over Dubai Honour in the Group 1 Grand Prix St. Cloud last year. Has only had one run since. Circle of Fire warming up from a Sydney Cup. And then down the bottom, you've got River of Stars for J-Mac, who last start ran, I think it was on Arc weekend on a soft track beaten half a length. She's got good soft form, and J-Mac chooses this one. I'm assuming you had the choice between the two Yulong horses here.
Yep.
I've got next to no idea. It is a very, very tough race. Where are you leaning, Adam?
I'm actually leaning towards Arapaho.
Yep.
Just if it does buck it down. It's got some good form in the heavy and the soft over this distance as well. I wouldn't bet against Bjorn Baker's horses right now. Absolutely flying. But you're right. It's wide open. Even throw Land Legend in the mix of this as well. Can we just talk about Vauban for a second?
Yeah.
Had a good win. Looks like it's back. Are we all up and about and maybe believing in something that may not happen?
I want to see it again.
Yeah.
He got over the top of Arapaho and Lindemann the other day. Like an amazing win. 2,400 looks like it suits, but I've still got the two Melbourne Cups in my head where he did nothing.
Yeah.
So maybe he's maybe the thing is, even though he's a hurdle winner, maybe he's a horse who can't go in the really brutally run races. And like the jog and trot where he's got a dash in the hurdles helps as well as the wins here. Because you look, a lot of his wins, 2,200, 2,400, 2,800. Maybe he just doesn't see out 2 miles.
Yeah.
But also maybe Gay and Adrian are just geniuses.
Well, that's the $4 that you're currently getting on Vauban just feels very short for my liking. So I'm very intrigued to see how it goes, but I'm going to watch it run around again on Arapaho, but wouldn't be surprised if it gets knocked off as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to have a little go on Zaire each way, who's got okay enough soft form, wins on the synthetic over in the UK as well. I'm just going to back that Chris Waller has this horse ready to go by Frankel. He'll get through the wet track and no worries or whatsoever. He's an Aga Khan horse, so I'm happy.
Are we throwing a trifecta out here as a little tip?
Yeah,
Arapaho, River of Stars.
Oh, down the bottom as well. And Zaire. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, maybe.
That could just be a healthy one between the two of us.
Don't leave out Duke de Sessa.
All right.
Caulfield Cup winners going amazingly this time in. Let's get to the real stuff as well, because we do need to go through our best bets this weekend across both of the tracks. So I've got my best bets at Flemington, then my next two are in Sydney. So my best bet comes up at Flemington. It is race 7, number 6, Alabama Lass. This is the Whirlpool Sprint Classic for our friends at the Hong Kong Jockey Club. Look, this filly comes across with Ken and Bev Kelso, and they've just said, we're coming for a look down the straight. There's some good prize money on offer here. It's $300,000 of the winner, plus the Vobis bonus on offer as well. She's a Vobis silver horse, being by Alabama Express, who stands at Yulong here in Victoria. Her form in New Zealand is excellent. There's a bit of word coming out that she's a mini Imperatrice, and you have a look at a win last start in the King's Plate at Ellerslie on their big day. She was dynamic. She absolutely hosed up here. There's been a bit of early market support here, and provided she can handle the straight, this could be a gap job. I'm pretty keen.
Sounds it.
Yeah, I'm keen.
I haven't seen you that up and about a horse for a while.
Yeah, no, I think because she's coming across, it's that unknown factor, but then you sort of look up the top. First settler, first time since the Coolmore. He drew 1. If he drew out wide, I'd be having a savour of him. Gatsby's is a myth. I'm just completely done with him. And then you sort of look down elsewhere. A lot of those horses have been coming through those sprint races, like the lower level sprint races as well, and just handicaps. So I just reckon she's a pretty smart filly, and that she can get the job done here. But Amelita as well turns up. She was a very good winner last prep down the straight. So just watch the market for her.
Mate, if we were backing horses on justification, you've just nailed it and we're all backing it.
Let's go.
Now we're all going to back it. I hope it wins.
Thoughts and prayers, etc., of course. My next best is in Sydney, and it's something that you don't see much of in horse racing, and that is race 2, number 2, nepotism. That's not a thing whatsoever in this industry. I thought this horse had a chance if he ran in the Golden Slipper last week, actually. He was fantastic in the Todman on debut, had no luck whatsoever, and that was around Tentris and Wotan. We saw how well Wotan ran in the Slipper, and Tentris probably would have won the Slipper if he ran in it. Barrier 3, so he sits just in behind the speed here. Being by Brutal out of a Casino Prince mare, I expect him to handle the soft going. Brutal won at Doncaster on a wet track, and Casino Prince was a pretty decent wet tracker. The mother never had a start, but she is out of Helsinge, which means this horse is related to Black Caviar. Of course, owned by Neil Werrett and the team as well, but pretty keen on this colt. I think he's really smart.
That caviar can't not back it.
Yeah, I think he goes well. And then my value bet is in the first race of the day, number 1, race 1, number 1, the Ian Craig Mahogany Girl. Couple of goes on heavy tracks for 2 placings. She was dynamic last start when winning the provincial midway championships at Hawkesbury. She's a very well-travelled horse because she actually debuted at Wagga back in 2022 against a horse that my old man trained. And she was really well backed and just got too far back, hit the line well, but was solid there. And that was on a heavy track. First start, had no idea what she was doing. She then had 2 and a bit years off and has just slowly built her way back up. She's handled wet tracks all the way through, and that's led to the Midway Championship win last start. She does go up a bit in weight here, up a couple of kilos, but Chad Lever on board. I reckon we get a bit of a better price because Chad Lever's riding this horse. He's a very good jockey. And back to the 1,300 metres, no problem whatsoever. Can just roll forward from the gate. See you later.
Yeah, I like this one too because you do look at the form on the heavy and the soft last year. The speeds didn't differ.
Yeah.
It just seems to run through everything.
I'm shocked that we're getting near double figures for this horse, so pretty happy there. All right, you're just punting at Flemington. You're taking the punt on the good track this weekend. Take us through your set, Adam.
Well, since I'm at Flemington this weekend, I have to punt at Flemington.
I'm doing both. I'm going to be at Flemington. I'm going to bet at both. I'm going to give Boombet a lot of my money this weekend.
It is, yeah.
And hopefully get some return.
So I've gone my best bet, race 4, number 2, Athenatus, I think is the way we pronounce it.
Yep.
Good form. My only question is it's a constant bridesmaid, many seconds. I'm expecting a win. I just think it's got a little bit of an edge over this field. So I'm expecting that it'll run home over that last 400 and tear them apart.
It just needs a little bit of luck from the gate, drawing 8 of 9 as well, but I don't mind it whatsoever. It is a big Vobis race, so Philip Stokes no doubt has aimed the horse at this race as well. Pretty decent race there. So hold on, you're going to be at Flemington Saturday.
Yeah.
Whereabouts are you going to be at Flemington?
I will be sitting down with some people having a nice lunch.
So is that in the chairman's lounge or are you in the restaurant?
I'm in the restaurant this week. Yes. It'll be tough, but someone's got to do it.
Yeah, that's fine. Just me and the boys just down in our Joe Public. It's fine.
Oh, you'll be down there?
Yeah, we'll be down there.
What are you down there for?
We have a Bucks.
A Bucks weekend?
A Bucks on Saturday. Yeah, Flemington there's a sports bar in St Kilda because we want to watch the footy after it as well. So the early mail was, all right, we'll take it nice and easy early. And then my mate who's a member.
Which always happens on a Bucks weekend. Yep.
We got an email from Flemington saying happy hour between 11 and 12:30. That just ruined the plan.
That's responsible service of alcohol. 11 till 12:30 happy hour.
Yeah, it is to get people in the gate. I understand why they want people there, but yeah, happy hour 11:30 till 12:30. Good luck to us this weekend.
You'll just cruise into St Kilda for a couple of quiet Guinnesses watching the footy later.
Yep, we're watching Hawthorn GWS and Brisbane Geelong. Good night of footy.
Great night of footy.
We need to get to your next best, which comes up in race number 6, which is a very difficult race. I'm shocked that you found your next best here.
I don't know if I found my next best, but I'm going to back it and probably a glutton for punishment having backed it before.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, but race 6, number 2, Spacewalk. Good performer at the distance, loves Flemington. Can it actually run down this field after a bit of a spell? I'm not sure, but we'll soon find out, let me tell you.
It's got Blake Shin just quiet, bang.
Yeah, bit of first up form though. I'm looking forward to seeing how it runs, but for anyone that knows me well, I have backed this way too many times. But I'm not going to drop it.
Having been here during Cup Week when Way to the Stars knocked it off.
Yes. So you may have seen a little tantrum out of me on that one. And then my value bet comes up in race 7, number 4, Winner's Edge.
Going against me.
Winning form is good form.
Okay.
And I really like this horse. So the last 2 runs have been exceptional. This is a tougher field, don't get me wrong, but I do think that it's got something about it, and I'm looking forward to hopefully getting another win.
May have to take just a Quinella there. Winner's Edge, $13.365 currently, and Alabama Lass is $2.65. So could be the Quinella play there. I'll just wave to you while I'm down on the grass and you're up in the up somewhere high in the grandstand.
Just flick a little picture of my steak and wine and see how it feels.
Must be nice. Must be nice. All right, that is our bets this weekend, brought to you by Boombet. Before we go, we do need to get into the Yays and Neighs this weekend. I'm going to let you read them, so I've been talking a lot.
That's not unusual. So these are some interesting ones this week, and I may have had some interesting input into them. So first up, VRC shouting the bar for a Pride of Jenny win is an unoriginal idea, and it's just copying, as the new saying goes, of what Kanga did.
Yay. I'm a yay on this because it absolutely is. Because Kanga shouted the bar when Jenny won first up over 1,800 metres. And Kylie's gone on radio this morning to say, yep, we'll shout the bar as well. So, yeah, I understand it from a business point of view. You're trying to get more people into the track. And if it gets, another 1,000, 1,500 people through the door who will then hopefully be spending money all day, I get it. But come up with an original idea. Yeah,
I'm a yay too. I just think it needed a bit more originality rather than just following suit on what Kanga did before.
Kanga.
Yeah, it's all about Kanga at the moment. So, all right, second one. Having Pride of Jenny and Tony Otterbray back in racing is good for racing.
I'm a yay because Tony's a character and we need more characters. Like he doesn't back down. He will come out swinging in defense of his mare when anyone has an opinion on it. And that's what all good owners and all passionate race people do. We are in this industry because we're passionate and we have our beliefs on whatever we do. I like it. I'm hoping that she doesn't go amiss. That is my trepidation with her as someone who's been around horses and horses who have bled in the past. It is a ticking time bomb. But Kieran Ma, best trainer in the land, has the best staff in the land as well. They know exactly what they're doing. If there was any issues, she wouldn't be running. But yes, watching her is appointment viewing.
Yep.
So it's good.
I'm a huge yay on this. I think that racing needs characters and Tony is certainly a character. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't in racing. If you speak out, you get smashed. If you don't speak out, you're called, you're a bit soft and maybe you should have said more. Having Pride of Jenny in any race is only going to add value to it. The whole premise that she goes out and leads well, can she be run down, is exciting. It brings a new bit of fandom to racing that we haven't seen for a while. I'm a huge yay on this, and it is nice to have Tony up and about.
Oh, yeah. How good's having Tony up and about when we need it?
Yeah. Now, this one may be mine. So do you want to lead this one in?
The industry is starting to become lazy and is just overhyping horses rather than doing the right analysis.
Yay. My phone went off the hook on Saturday from a few well-known racing people that were watching the coverages across a few of the different broadcasters. It is becoming a bit pathetic that we have multiple analysts, let's call them, celebrity analysts, let's say, that maybe not doing the form as deeply as they should and overhyping some of the horses that are going in.
Yes.
It is becoming, particularly in the last 6 weeks, we have seen favourite after favourite get rolled that have been very short price favourites. And then when you start to look into the ownership of some of these horses, some of these celebrity analysts may be overhyping their own horse, which is probably not good for the industry. So
yes,
I just think there needs to be a little bit more independence in the analysis that's being done, the form analysis that's being done, and a little less hype on some of these.
Yeah, when you're like, I'm tipping this because my partner's so-and-so is related to the trainer. Nah, leave me out of that. That doesn't give anyone any help, and it doesn't guide the viewer into actually like giving a specific good reason as to why we're backing this horse. It's just, I just know of this horse because there's the interest. There's no research, there's no analytics about it. Like if someone does the form and it's like, I like this because on board. So I'm in agreement.
And there's some really good analysts going around at the moment. You picked one on the weekend that was $13 in the slipper, which was amazing. But not many people were on with you. And
there was in fairness, I did see a couple of this is after the race when you're taking it all in. There was a couple of very sharp judges who were on all in at about 50s and then from a couple of nice trials and then a couple who backed her after the barrier draw when it looked like she was going to get the perfect setup. So
yeah, and we'll get smashed for this, but I'll take it on the chin because I just think as an industry, we've got to do better by the punter.
I agree. Finally, the ATC track updates are not helpful or insightful when it comes to giving out information and helping punters.
Was that due to all 10 races being run on the rail and having a win?
Then also the one that came out this morning, which doesn't talk about how they think the track's going to play, any of the conditions. We've moved a rail out 6 meters because there's a bit of wear and tear on the track. Fair enough, rail 6 meters, that's fine. But there's no talk about, we expect it to play like this. Like at least we've seen Victoria, where on the Thursday or the Friday, the new track one in Moonee Valley basically said, hey, that rain that came has cooked us. Like it's not helped us. The track's not going to dry out because of all the new building. They don't get enough sunlight there. He's like, it's just unfortunate. I think the track will be like this. It'll get worse. And he was right. And unfortunately, it happened on a big day, but we knew it was coming. We didn't know how obvious the bias was going to be. But Rosehill to go from 1 week being off the fence to then the next week being you needed to be fence on the run, it's not great for punters in confidence.
No, it's not. And I must admit, I'm a yay with this as well. In any other industry, you need to give sensitive information to the punter or to the consumer as quickly as possible so that they're all well informed. The same thing should be with racing. If there's an insight, if there's an edge to be had, then it should be given to the consumer at the point that someone knows. So track updates are very useful to know what's going to happen from race to race, even during the meet as well.
Yeah.
From race 2 to race 6, for example. If there's any track updates, they should be immediately given. As a punter, it just drives you insane. When you're the last one to know, but you're the one dipping into your pocket supporting the industry, then you should well and truly be informed. And
then, you've got, I don't mind it also when people that are on the coverage, they call it out. There's certain people who just pretend it doesn't exist. Someone like Bruce, someone like Duff will be like, nah, this track's cooked. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you can't do anything on the fence. So it's good that some people call it out, but when people who don't call it out because they're afraid of getting in trouble with, I don't know, the broadcaster or the tracks themselves, you've got to do it in this day and age because everyone can see it. We've all got a set of eyes. And then smarter people than us who are all the data guys will be like, yeah, the 8 of 8 winners were on the fence in the run on Saturday or something. And that just tells you it's blatantly obvious.
Yeah, but that's, the last 2 Yays and Neighs have been a little bit controversial, but they all tie into the same thing, right?
Yeah.
We're here for the punter. The punters are the ones that drive the industry. Give the right information. Stop being lazy.
Yeah, when I'm Supreme Overlord of Racing, there's a lot of changes that I will make. a lot of Group 1s would be downgraded and the calendar would be fixed, that's for sure. But that is us done and dusted this week on Hold All Tickets. A big thank you to our sponsors, BoomBet. Great fixed odds at more value and more boom moments. Sign up today and get in on the boom. Adam, I don't know if we'll be back next week.
Too controversial on those last 2.
Yeah.
Nah, we'll be back and have a good weekend at the Bucks. Are you drinking this weekend? You've been off the booze for a while.
Yes, I'll be having a couple of sherbets this weekend and then I'll be off it again until Hong Kong next month.
That will be fun.
Yes, that will be fun. But we've got that. We've also got the championships next week. Day 1 of the championships at Royal Randwick next weekend. J-Mac's off to Dubai to ride a Romantic Warrior, but we've got Ryan Moore coming to Australia. It's going to be a massive weekend of racing. Can't wait to get into it. We'll catch you next week on Hold All Tickets.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.